Welcome to Girls Gone Wellness, Maddie and Mikayla.
Yay,
Thanks
we're
for having
so excited
us.
to be here.
Yes, we are so excited to have you guys here today. Obviously, your podcast is a wellness based podcast. We like to interview, experts in their field about debunking health misinformation, all of the crazy things that we see on social media. But today, we want to do something a little bit different because, when this episode releases, we'll be like into our new branding on our Instagram and all of that fun stuff. And you guys are obviously all behind our rebranding, so we really wanted to talk to you about building a brand, rebranding, all this fun stuff. So we're so excited to get into it.
Awesome. This has been such a fun project. So just to be able to chat about it is so exciting. So
Yeah. Amazing. So, can you guys both just introduce yourselves and then just for a fun icebreaker, give us your go-to coffee order?
You start.
Okay. Mikayla Finnerty, and my coffee order, like I was trying to write it down nice and clean for this, and Maddie's like, "You're manic. It changes every day." But it's probably an iced latte with oat milk.
Okay.
Oh, an oat milk. Okay.
I'm Maddie. My coffee order has been the same for like 10 years. And I'm going to Starbucks. I'm getting a venti iced Americano with oat milk and extra ice. Is the key.
Okay.
Okay. Oat milk girls.
We are.
Interesting. I love it. Okay, so it's Starbucks. That's where you guys go.
Yeah, guilty, I think.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
Pittsburgh, Ontario. So it's like I'm getting a Starbucks. I'm not going to Hortons. I'm
Fair.
not doing it. Like,
Mhm.
Fair.
That's fair.
I get it.
That's
I get
fair.
it.
Me and Vic are definitely soy milk people, right? You're a soy milk person, Vic? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to be anti-soy milk. There's like so much BS in the health space about soy, and I've definitely fallen for it. But now, like, soy is so high in protein. And honestly, if you like oat milk, I feel like you also like soy. I don't know if you guys relate, but
You
it's just
used to
like,
be a soy girl.
I also used to be a soy person. I heard all said information.
Yeah.
Misinformation.
Okay.
My hormones are messed up now.
no. We're going to debunk that. Jeanette, what is your coffee order?
So, if it's from Starbucks, honestly, wherever it is, it's usually like an iced vanilla latte with soy milk. I need to have like some sweetness in there. Vic knows it. Like, it has to be sweet or I won't drink it. Like,
Yeah. I feel like I'm still like an iced almond milk girly, but I will go for soy if it's not Starbucks. I won't go for soy at Starbucks. That's my thing.
oh,
Not a fan.
okay. Why?
Not a fan. Like, I don't know. It's like, this is a bit dramatic, but it's like so much sugar in the Starbucks soy milk that I'm just like, if I don't have to, I won't. Where the other
And then I add extra sugar on top of it.
You do. You do. But I drink a million coffees a day.
Right,
So
right.
I got to watch that.
Right. That's fair.
Okay. Love that. Let's start with just getting kind of a background about you guys. Like, what are both of your backgrounds in this space? How did you start off kind of in the marketing world? And then now you guys have your own agency together. Give us the deets.
Okay, so we're from Windsor, so I stayed in Windsor. I went to U Windsor for communication, media, and film, and then I minored in business, and then wasn't like entirely sure going through what the plan was. And then in my fourth year, I did an internship at a marketing agency in Windsor, and I really liked it. I was doing copywriting. I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then when I graduated, they offered me a job, so I kept doing that, and then moved to London. Did a brand side job at a sport and social company. Did some freelance work, and then moved back to Windsor and kept doing freelance. And then I'll let you tell your story and how we connected there.
Yeah. I had like a million different interests, so I never knew what I wanted to do. I went to Western from Windsor they have like a media information technoculture program. Don't ask me to define technoculture. I still couldn't tell you what it is, and I'm sure most people can't. But they had a limited enrollment program called Media in the Public Interest, and it was 20 people were in the program, and you looked at media and social justice, but like with the intersections of race, class, like really looking at social movements and like in the digital age, how is like media, the way that we tell stories, like how does that impact it? So I absolutely adored that. And I thought I wanted to work at nonprofits after university, like in comms. And then after when I graduated, I'm like, okay, I have a lot of student debt now. I need to get a job and like
relatable.
This debt. So I worked at a small agency in London, and we didn't have that many exciting clients. So I was like, okay, I don't know if I really love marketing. Like, I think I need to go back to school. So then I went back to school because I've always loved research, and I did my master's at Western in media and in media studies, but I looked at the Amjong First Nation and environmental racism. So totally different from the work that I'm doing now, but social
Yeah.
justice has always been like a huge interest of mine, and a lot of my research in school focused on that. After graduated that, I had even more debt. So then I'm like, okay, I gotta get a job again. Like, I thought I was D, and I'm like, no, we have like we have MA debt now. So then out of school, I worked at a big agency in London called Northern, and they focus really on like commerce projects. So that was super interesting to me because that was my first time getting to work with really big brands. So I was on CN Tower, Canadian Tire, like some like those big names that when you're in school, you get excited about like the prospect of working with those companies. So I worked there and I made my way up to account manager. I absolutely adored the boss that I worked under there. I learned so much from him. And that was my first time too, kind of like dipping my feet into sales. In account management, even if you don't want to, you're doing sales. So for the business that we're in, I thought that was a really helpful skill. Then I just was like itching to get like on brand side again and get my hands dirty. Like I need to like do the work. So I went to A-Team London, and for me that was like the most transformative year and a half of my career. Like they were the place that literally let me do whatever I wanted. Like I want to rebrand. I want to spend a ton of money redoing our website. Like I want to overhaul everything. So for the last year and a half, I did that with A-Team London. And then I'm like, okay, I want to do this with other brands. Like this is awesome. And we're already doing the work. And I think too, one of the biggest things for us was that like we both worked at agencies now, and we see such a gap for small to medium-sized businesses and affordable and effective marketing and communication support. Like I think so many small businesses, like your budget means so much. Of course, every budget means so much, but when you're just starting up and you have limited funds, like you can't afford to waste any money. And so often I see these small businesses spinning their tires on just checking boxes rather than building something that's very strategic. So I think that the fact that we're both very educated and we also have a lot of hands-on experience with this, and we didn't just like get out of school and say we're starting an agency, like we both went and worked with brands and learned things that we're good at and not good at. So that's like such a long answer, but it really was like
just how you got here.
It really has an 8-year journey. And like through all this, we always knew too, like we're culture girlies. Like we want to do something in marketing, we want to do something together. So I ended up being able to kind of start contracting out a lot of the places that I was already working for, and then we had an agency.
I love that.
Yeah, I love it. Part of the reason why Jeanette and I were like, okay, we're going with you guys is because we felt that passion. Like you guys didn't even tell us that story specifically, but we felt that passion from you guys. It's so clear that you are in the perfect spot. And that's why we were so excited. And you're so right about like small businesses throwing money at things without a strategy. And that's the position. Like Jeanette and I were like, we're not going to do that. We are not going to. We have a small budget. Of course, we're like not in a position where we're throwing around money, but we didn't want to just like guess, right? Like we wanted to hire you guys because we knew you had that passion, you had that expertise. So I love it. I love that story. You guys have a really, really cool background. I have to know, were you always creative growing up?
For me, absolutely not. Like, like I feel like creativity was like defined by like, oh, are you like into the arts? Like, are you into drama? Can you sing, act, draw? Like, no, I cannot. And then like also I view things very like black and white. I'm like, there is kind of a right and kind of a wrong. But then also like once you start doing something you enjoy, it's like, okay, so you can be like creative in other ways. Like it doesn't have to be like, I don't need to know how to draw, but I can be creative in the way that like I view like brands and that sort of thing. You were more creative for sure.
I think it's funny because when we were like I was thinking about this and I'm like, no, like I'm not creative. It was just process of elimination. Like math and science, I was not like I knew that very early on, grade 10, I'm dropping math and sciences. I'm like, okay, I'm a communications girl. Like I was that kid that was like, it's a multiple choice answer, and I'm like adding the caveat, like, well, technically, like I've never been a one right type of person. So I always knew I was never going to go into a field that there was one right answer and one way of doing things, because I questioned everything. But I'm also not like creatively inclined. I think I have a creative brain, and like my ways of thinking are creative. But I think that if I was given skills of like singing, dancing, it would be over for everyone. Like I would never shut up. Like I was not gifted those skills because I would never shut up.
I love how you said that though, because I think people think when you start like a business or anything like that, you do have to have that creative side. And I know like me personally, I was the opposite. I like was doing math and science. Like that was like, I'm definitely, I guess that's like a left brain thing. I don't know, right or left. I don't know what it is, but one of those. And then my creative side is like not there, but it's interesting. Like as we've done this podcast, like, and maybe Vic can like attest to this as well. Like you do get creative in other ways. Like you're not drawing and you're not coming up with like all these great ideas, but like you do get creative in other ways that make sense for your business, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So obviously you guys are sisters, you have your own agency, you have your own business together. How do you like divide up your roles? Was this like a natural thing? Was this very chaotic to have to like divide up the things? And then actually I'll let you answer that and then we'll go to the other question.
Yeah, I feel like it was actually very natural because we know each other so well. It's like I know my strengths and weaknesses, and I also know her strengths and weaknesses. So for us, it was just kind of like, it honestly came down to what was more efficient. Like, if it's going to take me 4 hours to do something and her 1 hour, that's going to be what she's going to focus on. So it was definitely easy, like, very early on for us to be like, okay, like, you're better at X, Y, and Z, and I'm better at these things. So let's not waste time focusing on that, I think.
Yeah. And I'm not organized either. So like Abby has a lot more of like the skill set that has been like my weaknesses that like kill me, like she has those as strengths. So like also just like looking at a project and like dividing it up based on like, okay, this makes most sense for you to get started on, and then I can take it from here. Like and that's what's kind of fun too, because every project we both basically touch just in different ways. Like you might get it started and do the beginning core work, and then I take it home.
And that's what's nice too, is like we have no problem being like blunt with each other or being
right.
Not I'm gonna do this. So I think that's good.
Yeah. You don't like the little bit of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like fluff you'd put around like a feedback. There's none. It's you're just not killing that. So
just straight up.
Yeah.
I love that. Jeanette and I had a similar experience when we started this too, because we didn't know what we were doing with the podcast, like at all. But you kind of learn like what your strengths are as you go, right? And so like for me, like I will never touch the Google Calendar. Like that is Jeanette's domain. Scheduling, like it would be a disaster if you guys left me in charge of that. But then like certain things like the video clips and stuff like that, like sometimes like I just like had maybe an extra day where Jeanette was working and I figured it out, and so that's become my role. And it's just like, thank God for two people, right? Like it's so helpful.
It all works out. Like it's great.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing this alone. It would just be way too much.
Everything is a job. Like if you want it to, and it helps you not feel as anxious. So like that's like for us too, like we never would have started this independently. Like having your biggest comfort person like be by your side while you're like pitching to clients that you don't really know if they're gonna love what you're saying. Like it just having that comfort person like is like so 100%. Nice.
For sure. What has been the biggest lesson so far building business together as sisters?
I feel like from the sister standpoint, it's like personal and professional. Like it's so combined. Like you have to separate. It's like if we're having like a personal argument, but we also have a deadline, it's like, okay, like we hate each other right now, but like it needs to get done.
Work still has to
like
get
we
done.
Still have to do it. We don't have to like each other in that moment. So it's like separating that and not bringing that like, oh, we have to jump on a call, but we haven't spoken like 3 hours. Like,
and we'll be so like we learned that so early on, because the first conflict we had, we just fought like sisters, and then we were like the next day we're like, hey, we can't
like this is so unprofessional.
We can't do our typical like for each other. Like we kind of have to resolve this.
Yeah,
and we also 20 times a day on the phone, so like there's no other option.
It has been
that's our sister lesson. I think our biggest business lesson, and this is probably like more of a me problem than you, because I'm just like a people pleaser by nature, is not every client is our client. Like not every client is going to see the vision. Not every client is going to want to, like, we get on so many calls with people and they're like, I don't like social media and I don't believe in it. So like then you already have that uphill battle of being like,
maybe we're not for you.
yeah,
That's fine.
yeah. And sometimes it's great, and you can really like, there's nothing better than when you can like turn a client around and like get them excited and they see the value in social, for example. That's like just the biggest one I always think of. But
yeah, definitely. What about you? Any other lessons?
I feel like that has been the big one, because I feel like when you're starting, you're like,
you just want to say
you
yes
just
to
want
everything.
business. Like you just want to be like,
Right.
worked with like this many people, and then you just waste so much time trying to prove your value to people.
Yep.
Where it's like, we know
the work proves its value itself,
and
yeah,
that's
with
thing.
the right client.
Yeah, so I feel like that we're aligned on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, like the overlap, because these are two completely different fields, but Jeanette and I would probably say the same thing about our own field. Like there's patience where I'm like, I would love to help you, but we're on different pages. Like what I want for you and what you want for you are not aligned. And so, you know, it just,
there's someone, it's like dating. Like there's someone out there that's going to be the perfect fit for you. But like
exactly,
one of the things that we find is like, I'm very honest with clients, and like if they want to go spend a ton of money on social but they have no website, I'm like, you're doing this completely wrong. Like, so we've always been very open and honest with our clients, but as we grow, we're just learning, like,
we're always learning.
We continue to learn, but just not every client needs to be for you.
Totally. I feel like you're like calling us out for not having a website. We're working on it.
You don't sell anything online. If you did, I would have,
you'd be hearing.
We're getting there. Do you guys ever struggle with imposter syndrome? Because I know Jeanette and I do, so I always wonder if other, especially female-owned businesses, if you guys struggle with that at all. And then if you do, like, how are you pushing through that together?
Like right now, like every day, every moment of every day. Yeah, I think we're both very anxiety driven, which I always like look at as like a positive sometimes, because like we are often over prepared. We're hyper aware. Like we worry about worst case scenario, so we come in prepared with like what could go wrong. But I think a lot of the time too, like it's easy to just like, especially working in marketing, like there's so many examples of other people's work. Like you go onto social media, Facebook, whatever, like it's like a massive portfolio of what every talented person in your industry is doing. So I think a lot of the time it's easy to look at stuff and be like, fuck, like, sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's all good.
You can swear.
We encourage it.
Good. Like sometimes I'm just like, we're so far from like where we want to be. Like people are doing all of these cool things, but it's like, girl, like we've been doing this for like publicly for 5 months. Like it's like we're learning every day. Like, and at the end, what I think we always go back to too is like, we know we have the skill set and we know we can do the work and we can do it well. So we just try to stay grounded in that, because that's a huge battle.
I think like it also comes with being a woman. Like I totally think like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like men just start these things and they're just like, yeah, I got this, like no problem.
I think you're like a relatively like young woman sometimes, and if you're like into like older clients, and it's just like
you also have the age barrier too of like they look at you as just like
a child
almost.
Right. Yeah.
Child. So but it's tough.
Yeah, definitely is. We feel that too. How do you guys handle constructive criticism? Because I know, and I don't even like saying constructive criticism because it's not always criticism, but
like feedback.
Feedback. Because like you guys have a vision, right? But then your clients have a vision too. And somehow you have to read their mind. And I never understand. Like I could never do what you guys do. But like, how do you guys handle that when you have this beautiful product and then the client's like, well, no, this is not what I want?
I think a lot of the time, like we've tried to like nip those problems in the butt at the very beginning by like doing very thorough onboarding. Like with you guys, for example, we sent that massive brand package, and like you're a great example of a brand that knew who they were, knew who they were going, where they were going, knew where they wanted to go, knew who their audience was. And most of the time with those type of clients, like we don't have to we don't have a lot of the like a lot of it's just like designed things. It's not like you entirely missed on the look and feel because we've already done all the work of like mission, vision, values, like the hard like the stuff that people don't want to do. No one wants to put together a business plan. It's not fun. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have for that? I think I went all around on that.
Yeah, I mean, I like my immediate response is I'm like, okay, so they hate it. They hate everything I'm doing. Like I've taken it personally. And then I'm like, okay, like this isn't about you. Like you're working for someone's brand, and if they don't think it aligns with them, then it doesn't align with them. Like just because I think this looks great and feels great, like everyone, your brand is your brand, and you want it to feel intentional. So that's always our goal. Is like we want it to feel authentic to you. So it's never a negative thing, is what I say to myself. Like this, this is your job.
and I think Collective is a really good example of this. Like working with them, like Paige and Morgan are both chronically online. This is what they do. They're influencers. So like it's such a blessing to work with people who are doing this work every day and like who want to push you to do better, who like are sending you the ideas and really like pushing you to like elevate yourself. So I think sometimes when we have like feedback from people, we're like, okay, like we're working with like brands that like this is such a privilege and like we're learning from them too. So like if you take it as a learning opportunity, as like cliche and cheesy as that sounds, like because a lot of the time when we have had feedback, we're like a week later, if like the few times that we really don't agree with it and we fight for like what we think is best for the brand, like a week or two later, a lot of the time we're like, oh no, they might have been right.
It actually made sense.
Yeah, because no one knows like no one knows your brand better than you. I think sometimes it's just like how you convey it, like that's where we get lost, and then that's where the feedback comes from.
Yeah.
Right. Amazing. This is a huge question, but I would love for you guys to just touch on this as well. What is a brand? Like when people are talking about branding, rebranding, creating a brand, like what does that encompass for you guys?
It's such like a broad term, but I feel like it's like essentially just like a perception. So it's like when you like meet someone, like kind of your immediate thought about them. So like visuals, like colors, everything that goes into it. And then in turn, like your branding is how you are shaping like how people perceive the brand, right?
Yeah.
So like
well, I think for brand, for me, it's just like a gut feeling. Like I even think of like if you look at yourself, like if you know what Jeanette's brand is and you know what Vic's brand, like you have without trying your own personal brand. And I think a lot of the time, like the struggle people have is just like bringing that branding out. Like you know at your core who you are. You know how you want clients to feel when they pick up your product. You know how you want people to feel when they like see your branding in stores. Like it's really to me the gut feeling and the way that it makes people feel when they like see your stuff.
I love it. Why do you guys think that branding is so important? Because I know, like, I mean, God, 10 years ago, people didn't have a brand. Like, it just wasn't a thing. Social media wasn't as big. And nowadays, it's almost like you kind of have to have one. Like, if you want to do anything, kind of as a small business especially, why is it so important to have, like, that strategy?
There's just so much going on right now. Like, gone are the days of just, like, you having without a doubt the best product in that industry or in that field and it doing the work for you. Like branding is winning people over. Like how many times you go into a grocery store, like I love to use the example of like a natural food aisle. Like that is a branding exercise, like walking through that aisle and just looking at what speaks out to you. And I think too, like there's so much noise. There's so many people trying to be different. That like if you know what your branding is and if you stick with it, if you have those colors and if you have like even just design elements that you mirror every single time, like
Yeah, I love it. What are some, I guess, like low budget ways that someone can start building a cohesive brand before they're ready to hire help? Like those kind of first initial stages.
Okay,
Any
I love
advice?
this question because because the basics I feel like are often like overlooked. So a lot of the times, especially if it's like a social client and we onboard them, we see so many like little things that were just missed in the beginning that we want to fix, and they're like the brand basics. So first thing, if you do not own the domain of your business, go buy it, because there's people out there who like in algorithms out there that want you to start that brand, they want it to blow up, and then they don't want you to have that domain because they're gonna jack the price up and then sell it back to you. And I've had that happen to clients too, where like the domain that they own that they let expire is now $2,000. Like, and it sucks. So buy the domain, Next thing, to build a cohesive brand, don't sleep on a custom domain email. Like buy at thefinnerty.com. Like use the domain that you've already bought and get custom emails. Like it just looks so much more professional when you're emailing someone and it's coming from a branded email, not at Gmail or at Hotmail. Like these are
Vic's taking notes over there.
I'm like, God, guys.
Buy the domain.
Like these are the little credibility pieces.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing you can use that you can lean into is, I will always say, don't just post templates. Like I love templates as a tool and a caveat to lean into when you don't have much content. So like templates and that cohesive look and feel that you've developed on Canva or whatever should be there and that should be used. But like don't sleep on also like building out like social content. Like social media is free and it's the only way that you can reach anyone in the world if you just like figure out what your audience really wants and build it to that algorithm. So I think social media is another great brand building tool.
Yeah.
I think investing in a logo from day one. I love when people come with like a Canva logo or something, but like you need an Adobe logo. Like you need to be able to throw that on a billboard and it can be blown up to a million, whatever, like a million times. Like you need to get the basics right. So I would say like cohesive brand, buy the domain, make all your social media handles the same, get those custom emails done, get a brand kit done, get some templates done, and then make a business plan. Like that's going to guide everything too. Like even just your social strategy or your website strategy, all the things that you're going to want to do eventually. If you sit down and do that business plan or just the exercise of like really formalizing your business and looking at where you want to go, like that will help you to just be like, you know what? No, we're not hitting the basics here.
Yeah.
And the other thing I always say too, and it's like easy and relatively low budget, is brand everything that comes out of your office. For example, like real estate's a good example. I don't care if you're sending like an email or a CMA, like the email, there should be a branded email signature. That CMA should have a letterhead. Like make it, every piece of material going out of your office should scream your brand. Like these are the easy, like cheap wins that you can have early on. So yeah.
Okay.
Be ignorant with your branding.
I love it. I think me and Vic did everything backwards because we literally just got our domain last week.
But we got it.
We got it. I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, it's so important. I feel like those small things, because it can get really overwhelming. Like I know when me and Vic, I mean, some people know the story, but essentially me and Vic started this a year ago and we knew we wanted to do the podcast and we were like, you know what, like we'll just get something out there. We want it to look as best as it can with like the little amount of money that we have. We went to a cafe, we went on Canva. We were like, this is it, beige, brown, and black, and this is what we're doing. We got some photos done with like, you know, black suits and all these things, and like it was good and it carried us through the year. But I think when we were thinking about a rebrand, like it was so overwhelming. Like you guys said, you see everything online. You're like, you need to do this, this, and this, and you need to spend this money. You need a website. Yeah, it's like, holy crap, like where do we start? But you guys were really, really helpful with like, okay, breaking it down. This is what you need to do. This is what we're going to start with, because it just gets to be a lot. And I know Vic can attest to that as well.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like
low budget. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Another low budget thing that you guys were nailing too was just being consistent. Like, yes, you went into a cafe and you made that logo, but like you stuck to those colors and you stuck to like that look and feel for that entire last year. So like consistency, even if you don't have the like most neat and clean brand package,
people
like
can identify you.
you get value just from being consistent. So.
Right. Yeah. That was really, really hard for me to stick to beige, guys.
Yeah.
I know. Vic was so happy when we switched to pink. So happy.
Oh my gosh.
It's all about compromise. I like the beiges and she likes the pink. So
you're wearing like
unintentionally.
Amazing.
I love it.
I know we kind of talked about this a little bit before, but what do you guys think are the core elements of a strong brand identity? Like, maybe you could think of like some brands that are out there that people really know or people can recognize really quickly. And what do you think that they do right?
Yeah. So I feel like it comes down to visuals and then your voice and then kind of the values that you're putting out there, right? So, and how those all kind of exist.
And your customer experience. Yeah, like how people leave feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any brands that you guys think of like right off the bat, or like ones on social media that you think do a really good idea or really good job?
Oh yeah, there's so
Sorry.
many, like, and it's interesting too because I think a lot of the brands that we like love and have discovered have just been because we've loved their branding and their brand identity,
Yeah.
and it's really drawn us in. So like again, going back to just like when you look at someone's feed, like, does it just feel so cohesive that like they're killing it with like, yes, they're still tapping into trends on social media, but everything still feels like their brand. It still feels intentional. It still
Mm.
feels like it's playing into the bigger goal that they have. Tone and voice, like we always say this to people because like if I could do whatever I wanted, it would be like so cheeky. Like it would like I would be insulting people in the captions because that's how I like my marketing. Like I
Okay.
my marketing. Yeah, like I love when someone says something, I'm like, God damn, like they're right. Like that kind of to me.
Yeah.
Where some people are very like some people tie into like the emotional appeal and that's their tone of voice or
Mm.
like very confident and professional. But yeah, I think like nailing a tone and sticking with it is like so important. And I know everyone's using ChatGPT right now for captions, but like nail the tone. Like tell it that tone of voice that you want because like I don't sleep on the captions. Like just don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Good to
customer
know.
experience too is a huge thing that I think of people that just have a strong brand identity. Like, and that can be brick and mortar, like how it feels when they go into your store and you have like a handout when they leave your store, they have a bag that has the logo on it. There's custom tissue paper. Or if it's online, like, is your checkout smooth? Like, do I feel comfortable putting my credit card information into this? Like, these are all the things that like,
Yeah.
again, they're the basics, but it does all these little elements come together to create a strong brand identity.
Yeah, no, absolutely. One brand that I really, really like is Rode. I feel like she does such a good job of like being trendy, but also like staying true to her own brand. I don't know. I just think the way that she does campaigns and things like that are just so cool. And I really like her branding. And there's other like makeup companies too that I can't think of right now, that are really, really good with that kind of stuff. But you can definitely tell.
I think of like Alex Earl too right now because she's obviously such a big example. But like her brand in itself, like even just the intentional partnerships, like with Sip Marks, the thing that she's chosen to invest, like the things she's chosen to invest in, like it all is so intentional and it all goes back to her personal brand.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, I love her as an example.
Okay, amazing. How do you help your clients discover their own like brand voice? So say someone's coming to you and they're just looking for like their first kind of like branding experience. How do you kind of ask them questions about their audience and their voice and how they want to communicate that? Because I think that can also be difficult too. And I know me and Vic also struggled with this a bit because obviously like we have like a professional career, so we do need to be professional, but then for our podcast, we wanted to be like a little bit, we want to like incorporate a lot of different tones and like voices and things like that. So I think that was a little bit difficult. But how do you guys kind of help clients like discover that and work through that?
I feel like you like can kind of like feel it from this is like
yeah,
like we're gonna talk, so literally just talking and asking questions and
seeing what gets people excited too.
Yeah,
like,
and a lot of the time like they know like what their brand is, they just don't know how to convey that. So once they start talking about it, it's kind of like, okay, so this is what it is, like, but how, and help them present that. Like,
and I think one of the big questions, and you're seeing it at like all of the conferences right now, is like, what problem are you helping your audience solve? So like if you think about your brand like that too, it's like, okay, like what is the very unique thing about you, and like how can we transform that message into something that's digestible and can capture someone's attention in 3 seconds? So I think like most of the times the people that we're working with, like they already know their brand, they just might not know it, and it's really fun for them to be like in the instances, and a lot of the time it's like clients who are a little bit older and like haven't done any of the mock-ups or like any of the work for themselves, where you kind of feel like you're pulling it out of their brain, but then when you like deliver that logo package and they're like, this is exactly what I wanted. It's just from conversations and like a very thorough discovery.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I feel like you guys did such an amazing job helping us to kind of, like Jeanette said, like we have to maintain a level of professionalism because of our career and because of the people we're interviewing, really. But at the same time, we wanted this. It's a play on Girls Gone Wild. We wanted it to still be like sexy and also girly and fun. And saying that out loud, we were like, how the heck do we even do this? Like keeping it professional, but also having like that kind of tone of voice, like you guys were saying. And like everything you've given us is just like so perfect. It's like you reached into our brains and you took it out. So I think it is so freaking cool that you guys have that skill. Can you guys walk our listeners through the process of what it looks like building a brand with you guys? So what would this look like if someone new is coming to you looking for something similar?
Yes, for sure. So the first step is like the first date call, which is like us just feeling each other out for like, okay, are we gonna have a good time if we get on a discovery call and like rip apart some brands, and like do we just think we have the same vibe? Because at the end of the day too, like especially for a design project, every graphic designer has a different style. And it worked out perfect because like our styles are very similar, so it's always nice when that happens. But that first call is really just to see like, okay, do we think this is gonna be a good fit? What are they looking for? Because one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is doing everything very bespoke and custom. Like, I will not give you a social media package. I will not give you a logo package. Like, I will spend the time to quote it out to give you the deliverables that you want that make sense for your brand and where you're actually gonna get value from. Like, I never want to deliver something where you're like, I literally don't need this, but thank you. So that first call is really like a deliverables gathering session. Then we send over our brand questionnaire, which I think is 4 pages now. We continually add to it, but it's really like the base of like, okay, if you haven't thought about these things, this is going to be probably challenging for you, but very necessary. And if you have thought about these things, great. Like we're putting them on paper now and formalizing it. So that document kind of goes through like, who's your audience? Like, what is your biggest barrier? Like we get into problems, we get into
long-term goals.
Long-term goals.
Yeah.
Like the other thing is so often I see like agencies build something for a brand, but it's not built for that brand to scale with. So I always want to like, I want every brand we work with to blow up. So I want the assets and the tools that we give you to like, for you to be able to use them for years to come. Like,
to be timeless.
Yeah.
Right.
100%. So after that, when we get the questionnaire back, then we book a discovery call again. And that's where we all 4 of us are on the call. And what we basically do is we go through the Pinterest board that you sent us, and we ask clients for a Pinterest board, but most of the time when people are thinking of a rebrand, they've already kind of put that stuff together. So we go on their Pinterest board, and then we also just think about some of the stuff that was said in the first meeting. So like you guys, for example, like some of the inspo you had was chunky, even though like the overall look you had was more sexy and thin fonts. Like, so that's why in this first meeting, we threw in some chunky examples to be like, what do you think about this? Like, you might like this. Because you don't know until you like think about it in the context of your brand. Like it's so easy too, because so many brands we get sucked in because the branding is great, that we have to, a lot of the time I think we're keeping clients, like those conversations are also like, okay, make this specific to you though. Like how can we pull elements from all of these things that you love and make them specific to you? So that first call, we do a ton of that. And then at the end of it, we kind of leave with a 3-tier thing that says like love, hate, obsessed with. And that's just kind of like a mood board that we know we've went through and we've had really good conversations about too. So like one of us is taking notes as we go through all of those examples. Then from there, that conversation for us most of the time, we've only a few times had to book a second call to be like, okay, we need a little more. Most of the time that call, like we have a really good idea of where you want to go. And like the colors, like we go through colors as well there too. And then from there we take it back, and that's where we do our like first shot of like, okay, let's make them a logo. So with you guys, I think we sent over 5 options, and some of them are usually like similar, and then I usually throw in like this is a random one. So like, for example, I threw in one chunky one with you guys because I'm like, that's always really like, that's like where you get imposter syndrome a ton too, because it's like you're like sending someone your art, like in a way, and that's not always fun. Like even with like social or stuff, like sometimes it is hard to take feedback because it is your art. Like it's so art is so personal. So when we sent it back though, you guys loved it, so that was great. But no, but from there you guys are like, okay, the logo looks good, we need to refine the colors and we need to refine some of these brand elements. So from there we take it back, and then that's where we finalize the colors, which like you guys were like, I love that because you guys knew the colors you wanted, like, and you had such a vision for it, and we really were like pulling things out of each other's brains in that like the color process. But I think the colors that we landed on are so perfect, and so you guys, and so then from there we throw all of that in a brand kit and we send that over, and I feel like that's like one of the most exciting parts because it's just the formalization of everything. Like these are your fonts, this is your colors, like and one thing we always do too, that I don't even know if you guys noticed it, but we always like to name the colors like something fun for your brand, even though they're just like Pantone colors. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, we threw that in. And then from there we do all the other brand elements. Like I think we always are gonna establish that core identity first, send that all over, and then from there we'll do everything else. But with you guys it was different because we went right into merch, which is so
Yeah.
fun because like we were right in the depths of the design
Mhm.
process still. So like we already had like language and messaging too that we're like, ooh, this might be kind of fun
Yeah.
on merch. Like
Mm-hmm.
so the merch process was super fun to do with you guys. And then I think the only thing that we have left is the cover, which I'm assuming will be on this episode.
Yeah, it will
Yes.
be.
Yeah, that was a very long-winded answer. You'll like see that with my ADHD brain. It's like
No,
oh,
but I love it.
I love it.
No, this is a perfect example though of like why you shouldn't do these things by yourself.
yeah,
Because
No.
like I mean
Mm-mm.
you saw our Pinterest board. It's like an absolute nightmare, right? Like Jeanette and I were just every day is different. Like some days we like chunky and the next day, you know, we change our mind. And so it's really difficult. And the two of us were like, okay, we can't do this by ourselves. So we're so glad that we have you guys by our side. Okay, so I'm excited about this question, and you can give us a positive answer, of course. Also, feel free to like take jabs at us if you need to.
Please do. Please do.
We can take the constructive feedback. But what did you see in our original brand, and how did you help us to evolve it? Like, I kind of want to know the behind the scenes, like the shit talking, if there was any.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I'm not even just saying this, like I feel like there wasn't a ton of like
confusion.
negativity because you guys like even though maybe it was like beige and you guys like weren't aligning with that, but it was like your voice, like you guys knew exactly like who you were, like what you guys stood for, how you're presenting that. So like it just felt like authentic to you. Like maybe I don't know. I don't have many negatives.
No,
like
that's
it
the
was
thing.
you guys were so clear of like this is what we are now, but this is where we want to be in 3 months, 6 months, a year.
Yeah. And I think the thing with you guys too is like you already had a brand, you already knew who you were. We just like helped polish it a little bit. So and those are like some of the most fun things because like a lot of the time like that's all we're doing for brands. Like you have already done all of the work. We're just coming in and like putting a bow on it and making it look a little prettier. So yeah, like you guys are a perfect example of a client that like already did all of the hard work, just like needed a little help with the polishing. And it also too, I think for like some of the most impactful projects, like I'm so excited for when everyone can see this project and your new logo and all of your new branding because like it like Maddie said, it just feels so genuine and authentic to you guys. So yeah, I think you guys did all of the hard work.
I know I'm like trying to think like a negative. I'm like, what do I not like?
No, yeah, I like
we can take it. We can take it.
I feel like you guys really helped us to like step into our brand voice though, because like you said, like I feel like we did know where we wanted to go with it. But Jeanette, I don't know if you remember, like when we were in the like thick of like the beige and black branding,
the dark days.
There was like it definitely wasn't from Canva. I don't know where I found it, but it was this image that we were going to use as like a real cover. And it was very like, well, like I think about it now, it's maybe even still a little inappropriate for Instagram, but it was like a girl eating like watermelon or something, Jeanette. I don't know if you remember. And it was so sexual. And Jeanette's like, we're not ready for that. Like, we can't go there.
No one's ready for that yet.
But we wanted to go there, and now I feel like we're on our way. You guys really helped us.
That's so funny.
I love
so
that,
funny.
I think you guys will be one of those brands where like you're gonna balance like the sexy cheekiness so well with like we're like respectfully fucking doctors, like professionals, like I think the brand balances all of that so well.
Yeah, and I think that's also like, I mean, this could be a whole other podcast in itself, but I know me and Vic have talked about like just being like women in healthcare, women in medicine, where it's like, listen, like we can still have a personality, we can still be fun, like we can have all of these conversations, but like still keep it light and fun, and like it doesn't have to be so like serious and like black and white all the time. And we really wanted to tie all that in together, but we're hoping that it comes across in a way that we have envisioned, but I think that's a huge thing that like people are talking about a little bit more now. But we definitely wanted to like go on that path for sure.
Because it's also like, who said you can't be a doctor and still like,
well, it's like the two things can be true at once.
yes,
like,
yeah, two things
Yeah.
can be true at once. Like, I can still
Mhm.
be a professional, but I'm never not gonna say fuck shit, like whatever. Like that's authentic to me, and I say that to my mom all the time and my dad. Like when they hear how I speak all the time on client calls, and I'm like, I have that relationship though with that client because I've just been my authentic self the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if a client doesn't like this about me, then like they're probably not gonna like my vision anyways. So like, I am not for everyone, and that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. I know we talked about this briefly, but what was the core elements that we landed on together? Like we did fonts, we did colors, we did like a little bit of mood stuff, and you guys have also done like templates. So I would love for you guys to talk about like what we did. So if people are listening, they kind of know what they can ask for if they decide to work with like a marketing team and things like that.
Awesome. Okay. Okay, some of the core elements that we landed on together were, and I think a lot of it is like together is like collaboration. Like
Mhm.
you guys definitely had a very clear idea of font, which for me makes logo design so much easier. Like you had already kind of landed on like a mix of cursive and
like a serif.
yeah. So we kind of knew what we were gonna do there already, but
and colors were very clear too. It was like, we're gonna be moody, we want to be fun, it's sexy, but it's not cutesy.
yeah,
like, so
It's not Y2K.
Yes,
No.
yeah. Yeah.
You didn't like burgundy.
Yeah.
You made that very clear. And then what else?
The core elements were the font selections, which there was a ton of different examples, and we definitely had a really clear idea that okay, we're going to be mixing a cursive and a serif, which I don't do a ton of cursive logos, so that was fun.
Yeah.
We also knew too that like you're never going to use that. I love our new sexy Girls Gone Wellness logo, but that's never going to be a display picture. So we need like a very killer like icon. So that process we also like worked on together where okay, like I knew I wanted something chunky and you guys knew you wanted something cursive. So I love that like that really was like I'm thinking of it from a functional standpoint. Like I want this to be very legible for someone that's like scrolling by. And then you guys like with the G. So then we ended up doing that cursive G with the two chunky like the other two chunky fonts, and it just feels so intentional and so right. And that's like
looks great.
Of like collaboration. Like we went through 10 examples of cursive G's and W's. Like you don't know what feels right until you see it. So we landed on that together too. And then like again, most of it like you guys had already done all of the work. We were just polishing it up for you. Like
yeah, like going back and referencing like the whiteboard of like kind of like hate. Stop.
Yeah. And the templates too were like really, really helpful because again, me and Vic were saying like this would have taken us like if we even tried to attempt to do this, like it would have been a year. Like it would have been another year. We still would have been beige and black. Like it just like it just wouldn't have worked. Like, but you guys were really able to take what we wanted and to make it into nice templates and like build out the merch and like everything is just so cohesive. And I think that's where people need to have help to make it cohesive.
And two, it's like I like to think of it like if you do this one time, you don't have to do it again. Like until you want to refresh it a little bit. Like and I think of like efficiencies and profitability. Like it is so much more profitable. I'm gonna restart that sentence. It is so much more profitable for you to be like working with clients, like doing the work that you need to be doing. Like you don't need to bring about templates and brand kits. So like if you pay for that done, you have something to fall back on for the week that you're like, I need something to post or whatever. Like give yourself the basics.
100%. There's a book that Jeanette and I both read. It's called 10 times is better than 2 times. And a lot of naturopathic doctors have read it kind of in our space. It was one of the recommended books from the Confident Clinician database. But basically the premise of the book was that instead of like just putting in a little bit of money here and putting a little bit here, it's like go 10 times instead of 2 times because you're actually going to save yourself time, money, everything in the end, right? Like invest in yourself. You can't be in 10 places at once. So you sometimes have to hire people to help you alongside, right? For you to move forward, you need help around you. You need a village, right? And so I think that even like, obviously we wanted to have you on because we think you guys are great, but we also thought that it would be really beneficial to have you guys on because there's so many naturopathic doctors and other types of doctors who also want to do their own branding and are stuck. And I want them to know, like, they should hire you guys. They should look into this because it's going to take it all off their plate. They could focus on their patients,
Yep.
right? So I think that's a big thing too. Like, just the whole 10 times is greater than 2 times. Like, just put everything you have into it.
Yeah.
And you're going to get a lot further. Mm-hmm.
And I think it's also like a testament to just like believing in yourself and the vision and what you're gonna like do. Like once you put money into something and like you see that money come off your credit card, you're like, okay, like
I'm locked into
I'm
this.
locked in. Like
Yeah.
that's like 4 India trips. Like
Yeah.
I'm locked in. So I think too, a lot of the time it's like accountability too. Like I have no excuses. I have my branding. Like I have a brand kit. Like I can spend an hour to get a post up. Like
Yep.
Yeah, it's so true. The online world is obviously like very noisy right now. You guys even said, you know, it's an online portfolio of everyone's brands, everyone's marketing, all of those things. How do you think now, like in 2025, can brands stand out in this space?
Yeah, I feel like because it's so loud, like a lot of people try to just like be louder and try and like
do what everyone else is doing.
And
like
yeah.
trends are great.
But it's like, how are you, like, you have to be clear. You have to be intentional with like the messaging you're putting out there, with who you're trying to reach, with what your goal is. Because if not, it's just like you're just adding to the noise. You're not separating yourself from that, right?
And everything you put out too, like what's the goal with it? Like not every piece of content you're gonna put out. For example, I'm just thinking about social media. Like not every post is gonna be meant to drive sales. Like some of them are brand awareness. Like know what each post or what each campaign you're doing, what the goal is too. Because if you're just trying to go viral and use those metrics as like your success, like that's such a loss.
And it's such a defeating process too of
right.
That can't be your intention every time.
And I think too, that's why like I always say too, like look at engagement. Like you can tell if your messaging is hitting and if like you're breaking through all that noise, if your engagement is great, because that means like you've really said something that people are connecting to and they want to engage, they want to share that, they want to comment. So I think be clear, like know who you are, and don't be afraid of like being different either. Like you don't like that can help you stand out a little bit in noise too. Like for example, like sometimes we post things that really don't have a whole ton to do with like our business, like our out of office series, and I'm like, no, like
it just feels like us.
It feels like us, and it feels authentic to us. Yeah. So like keep grounded in that too.
Yeah, I like that. I think that that's a big thing too. People say like, don't say anything too personal about yourself and that sort of thing. But like, if that's your brand, that's your brand. Like, you know, even my medical account that I have started as like an online diary for me because I was dealing with health issues and I wanted to figure it out with other people. And so even though sometimes I'm like, should I be posting this? Like, should I tell the world this? It's my brand, right? And like, it's okay to do that. I feel like that's important for people to know too. What is one of the biggest things that you see people getting wrong with their social media presence and branding? And I want to hear the answer to this because I always think of like when someone takes like a psychology course and they start diagnosing everyone with issues. I feel like you guys are able to see something and like just like cringe and want to change it.
So like blunt with yours. Mine is people that do shit for the sake of doing it and just like checking boxes and posting for the sake of posting. Like people always say like a social media presence is better than none, but I disagree. Like a bad social media presence is worse than none at all. Like like so many people, I think a lot of the time people like even when they come to us, they're like, well, I just know I need to be on social media. And it's like, okay, but do you want to be? Like are your customers there?
Are you gonna maintain it?
Are you gonna maintain it? Because I think that's like a huge thing. Like you have to be consistent with what you're doing there too.
Like one post every 3 months isn't helping you or anybody. Like
but
it's not getting there.
But I think with social, like one of the biggest things, like if you're managing that in-house, like at the beginning of each month, like sit down and try to map out your content. Like don't just post for the sake of posting every day, because I find that a lot of the people that just post for the sake of posting, they're not putting any strategy into what they're doing. They're not thinking about like, okay, this world event is going on, maybe we could do a sale and tie it in and campaign around that. Like when you don't plan ahead and when you're just posting for the sake of posting because you feel like you need to get something out there, you lose the strategy in what you're doing.
And it's so easy to miss things too.
And it's so easy to miss things. So like don't post for the sake of posting. Like, really spend the time to do some research. Like, look at what your competitors are doing. Look at what's working. Like, see what's getting engagement. See what the brands that like you love are doing. See what the brands you hate are doing. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes some thought, right? Like, and you can feel it. You can feel like the inauthenticity of some people's posts where it's like, oh, they just wanted to like keep the engagement up or whatever it is, the algorithm or
they're just like
whatever.
trend hopping, and you're like, why are you doing this trend? Like, this doesn't feel intentional to you at all. Like,
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at like luxury fashion houses, because I think they do a really good job of playing into like themes and trends without like losing their identity and like going way too far the other way. Like, for example, like food nostalgia and like food marketing, like all of those fashion houses are using it in a very intentional and thoughtful way, but it doesn't feel like they're just hopping on the trend,
and they're not like cheapening their brand.
And they're not cheapening their brand in the process to hop on a trend.
For sure.
Okay.
So I will always go back to strategy. You have no strategy. Like,
yeah. Okay. I like that. What are your thoughts on following trends versus building something that's timeless? Where kind of should someone invest? Like, is it better to blend in? Is it better to stand out? What are we going for?
We're always of like the timeless route, because that's where like that's the longevity of your brand. Like,
if you do things right from the beginning, you shouldn't have to do a brand, like an entire like brand redesign every few years. You should just be able to do a brand refresh and make little tweaks, like renovating your house. Like, what thing's not hitting great, let's fix that, let's move on. Like,
first, I think it's nice to hop on a trend every now and again to stay like relevant, but it's like that shouldn't be
your brand.
That's not your brand.
Your posting strategy should be collecting all of the trends that are relevant in your industry and like pumping those out. Like,
I don't want 10 trending reels. I don't want that. Like
have content and think about like, what are you aiming to hit? Like, do you want to educate your people? Do you want to like what's gonna land for them? Think about like 3 or 4 core things that you can post around, and like what the themes of your brand and business or service or whatever are, and like base your content around that.
Okay. I love it. That's great advice. What is your dream brand that you guys would love to design? I would love to hear from both of you. If you could pick any of them.
See, we like think about this a lot, because it's like we are so drawn to brands because we're like, oh, this is like so cool, so trendy. So it's like everything I like has like a pretty nice brand. So I'm like, what do I
feel like I'd pick something in its flop era. Like, I think about Abercrombie, and like that like brand relaunch was so much more than like, they didn't even really change their logo. Like, they had to change the perception of their brand. Like, years of like terrible comments, like terrible like leadership. Like, you are fixing so much more than just like how your brand looks. You're changing how it feels to people, which is like such
wild,
a massive undertaking. So like Abercrombie, I give that team so much props, because I love Abercrombie. Again, I never thought I would like them again. Like, they've done a great job of like doing campaigns, like rethinking and reimagining all of their social media, their websites, their sizing. Like, they overhauled everything. So all of that to say, I would probably want to rebrand Hollister, because they're like left in the shadows of Abercrombie's really successful rebrand. So I think Hollister would be really interesting. And we're also huge foodies. Like, I love food styling and presentation and dining. So I would love to redesign some sort of food brand. Like, I went to like think of Diet Coke, but like they're already doing great things. Like,
I know, we're give us Tim Hortons, and we will let us strip it down, take the flatbread off the menu, like go back to what you know.
Honestly,
the second they get that energy drink in a can, I'm like, they need an intervention.
Like, I don't want the rhyme. I'm done with that.
Yeah, like what's your brand?
Make the donuts and the coffee.
Yeah, right. An example of like people still love Tim's.
Yeah, you don't need to be doing all of this.
No.
Like,
look
at that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get the rice off.
Get the rice off the menu. Yeah.
Or where McDonald's like tried to be like McCafe. That always really threw me off. You're not a cafe.
I keep seeing ads for like McDonald's Dubai making matcha, and the matcha is like looks like pea puree. I'm like, you shouldn't be doing this.
No,
we
have no business doing matcha. Vic, what's one of your brands?
Guys, if you guys could save Juicy Couture,
Oh,
I would forever be in debt to you.
I feel like the girls are like going back to Juicy. Like I have seen Juicy on the streets. Like
I want to be
Oh my
back in my
gosh.
Juicy tracksuit. We need to make that happen.
That might be a new merch idea, Vic.
Ooh.
GGW velour tracksuits.
yes, I love that.
We might have to bring it back.
Love
To end off the episode, what is one piece of advice that you guys have for any woman listening who wants to start their own brand or their own business?
Just do it.
yeah. Like as like corny as it is, like just do it.
And I think this is like really interesting. Like we launched our brand and got our business license and did all of that in September 2024. And for 4 months, we were like, no, I don't want to. We couldn't decide on a logo. Like we were like, okay, like we're a marketing agency. Like we can't have a flop logo. Like it has to be something so good. So for 4 months, we delayed. Like we had our Instagram account, but we didn't post anything. We were just like getting clients by word of mouth and like people in our networks. And then we kept pushing it off because it just wasn't perfect. And then one weekend in January, we were like, fuck this. We just need to like publicly like announce this. So we made a logo, made our like video, which we had initially planned, like we're going to do this huge videographer. I'm going to storyboard out something. Like we just grabbed clips that we had and launched.
Yeah.
And made a 1-page website, which like irks me every day and every night because it needs to have content on it. But like,
I love the website. I love your guys' website. I think it's so cool. But
I like, for example, like all of our work samples, and it's like there's never gonna be a perfect time. Like there's always gonna be things that you can do, money you could spend.
There's
like,
always a million reasons to like put something off, and like for overthinkers. And I feel like a lot of like young women are overthinkers of like, well, it's not perfect yet. Like someone's gonna say, oh, you don't have X, Y, and Z. But it's like if in 6 months I might not have X, Y, and Z either, and I'm also still in the same position. So it's like at least forward with it, right? So
true.
Too, like a lot of people, even clients that we work with, and it like kills my soul because it is such a like thing. Is like you're scared of what other people are gonna think. Like it is like
people are mean.
Like
like
people can suck. So like putting yourself and your art out there, and like you just don't want to feel dumb. And like it sounds so stupid, but like we really were scared of just like looking dumb too. Like you're putting your heart and soul in your work out there. Like you want people to love it. You know that you're doing really good work. Like we were scared.
Scared.
So just do it. Like start messy. Just start. Like if you wait until it's perfect, you're never gonna start. And then
never gonna start.
You're on that idea.
Someone else will take the domain. So I mean,
$3,000 behind.
And now add $3,000 on that.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. No, I feel like that's something that Jeanette and I did well because our whole premise of our podcast could be a little bit insulting to people in our own career. Right. And so it was a little nerve-wracking starting a podcast and knowing that not everybody's going to be on the same page as us. But we just like she was saying earlier, like we went to that cafe and we were like, all right, here we go. Like we're launching this, we're doing it. It's a big fat mess right now, but we're going to figure it out. So I love that advice. Thank you, ladies, for coming on today. This was so much fun. Before we head out, though, tell our listeners where they can find you guys, where they can book with you guys, all of that stuff.
So you can find us online at The Finnerty, and our website is also at The Finnerty, or you can DM us on Instagram. You can DM our personal Instagrams. Like we like to yap and like
love it.
Know about your brand. So
Amazing.
Well, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
This was so fun. Like you guys helped us like get over some imposter syndrome today.
Oh, good. We love it.
Love it. Okay, perfect.